chapter Evolution, as shown in the Zodiac T, is a matter of common knowledge among mystics that the evolutionary career of mankind is indissolubly bound up with the divine hierarchies who rule the planets and the signs of the zodiac, and that the passage of the sun and the planets through the 12 signs of the zodiac marks man's progress in time and in space. Therefore, it is not to be wondered at that, in the course of their investigations into the spiritual development of mankind, the writers have also encountered much that deals with the zodiac, which is the boundary of our evolutionary sphere at the present time. So much has been perceived in the memory of nature that sheds light upon obscure passages of the Bible, that notes have been made from time to time of different points. But how to collect and collate these dissociated writings into a united whole has been a great problem for a long time. Even now, the writers know and feel that what they are bringing forth is only a very, very weak attempt to set before the students that great body of facts which have come to them through the memory of nature. They feel, however, that this will give a new and more profound meaning to the old symbols, and that by passing on what has been found, they put themselves in line to receive more light. Concerning the future evolution of planets, the Rosicrucian Cosmoconception teaches, on page 256, that when the beings upon the planet have evolved to a sufficient degree, the planet becomes a sun, the fixed center of the solar system. When the beings there have evolved to a still greater degree, and consequently it has reached its maximum of brilliancy, it breaks up into a zodiac and becomes, so to speak, the womb of a new solar system. Thus the great hosts of divine beings, who until then were confined upon that sun, gain freedom of action upon a great number of stars, whence they can affect, in different ways, the system which grows up within their sphere of influence. The planets or man-bearing worlds within the zodiac are constantly being worked upon by these forces, but in various ways according to the stage they have reached in evolution. Our sun could not have become a sun until it set out from itself all the beings who were not sufficiently evolved to endure the high rate of vibration and the great luminosity of the beings who were qualified for that evolution. All the beings upon the different planets would have been consumed had they remained in the sun. This visible sun, however, though it is a place of evolution for beings vastly above man, is not by any means the father of the other planets, as material science supposes. On the contrary, it is itself an emanation from the central sun, which is the invisible source of all that is in our solar system. Our visible sun is but the mirror in which are reflected the rays of energy from the spiritual sun. The real sun is as invisible as the real man. From this teaching, it is apparent that the great spiritual hierarchies, which are now guiding our evolution, have had their training for this path in previous schemes of manifestation. Also that what they are now doing, we shall someday do for others. Already the foremost among our race are treading the path of initiation, and have thereby advanced into stages far beyond the general status of our present humanity. It has been learned that those who have gone through the mercurial school of the lesser mysteries and have graduated from the school of the greater mysteries are now preparing human evolution for the Jupiter period. They have entered the planet Jupiter by way of one of the moons, which serves as a stepping stone. Others there are, unfortunately, who have gone the other way. We read in the Rosicrucian Cosmoconception that even as the whole population of the earth was at one time expelled from the present sun because of their inability to keep up with the vibrations of the beings thereon, thus hindering them and being hindered themselves, so also it became necessary in the Lemurian epoch to expel a number of the stragglers from earth. Thus the moon was cast out into space to revolve as a satellite around our present planet. Those unfortunates are gradually degenerating, and the time will come when they will all go to the planet Saturn, which is the door to chaos. Thence they will be expelled to interplanetary space to await the time when, in a new system, there will be a favorable condition for their further evolution. The gate of life and death. Thus the zodiac and the planets are as a book in which we may read the history of humanity during past ages, and they also give a key to the future which is in store for us. In the famous zodiac in the temple of Dendera, Cancer is not pictured as we have it in modern days. There it is, a beetle, a scarab. This was the emblem of the soul, and Cancer has always been known in ancient times, as well as among modern mystics, to be the sphere of the soul, the gate of life in the zodiac, whence the spirits coming into rebirth enter our sublunary conditions. It is therefore aptly ruled by the moon, which is the planet of fecundation. And it is noteworthy that we find Capricorn, which is its opposite, ruled by Saturn, the planet of death and chaos, who is mystically depicted as the reaper with his scythe and hourglass in hand. These two opposite signs are therefore turning points in the soul's career. Cancer and Capricorn respectively mark the highest ascent of the sun into the northern hemisphere, and its lowest descent into the south. We observe that during the summer, when the sun is in the sphere of Cancer and allied signs, fecundation and growth are the order of the day. But when the sun is in the south, in Capricorn, we have winter, when nature is dead. The fruits of the summer are then consumed and assimilated by us. As a circle dance of the sun among the 12 signs determines the seasons of the year when direct, causing the germination of the myriads of seeds cast in the earth, also the mating of the fauna, which then makes the world alive with the sights and sounds of manifested life, and at another time leaves the world dumb, dull, and drear in winter's gloom, under the sway of Saturn. So by the slower backward movement, known as the precession of the equinox, does it produce the great changes which we know as evolution. In fact, this precessional measure of the sun marks the birth and death of races, nations, and their religions. For the pictorial zodiac is a symbolical presentation of our past, present, and future development.